Wow.
So this has been like an ongoing Disney shit show. They converted Splash Mountain into something new that no one really cared about, and no one was really interested in. And yeah, basically Forbes have done a pretty decent article on it all. So I thought this would be quite interesting. Guys, do you want to let everyone know what you think about Splash Mountain and this new Tiana Bayou, whatever it's called, isn't it? What do you reckon? Culture, you seem a bit more up to date on this than I am.
Well,
So you want to
yeah,
give a
I
quick
mean,
rundown on it?
yeah, this is probably the worst decision the Disney company has ever made for no reason other than a handful of 10 people
Yeah.
that were complaining that it was tied somehow to racism and entrenched, so on and so forth. Really, kids that rode through this really enjoyed their time with Brer Rabbit, going through and throughout his day, heading to his laughing place. The theme of the ride was well done. There was a story throughout, and it really kind of took you to the plunge into the briar patch at the very end, and then a celebration of escaping from the wolf and the bear, or excuse me, the fox and the bear, Brer Fox and Brer Bear. But what they did is they rebuilt an entire attraction without consideration for the mechanics and everything else that went into doing this. And because of the way with which this was haphazardly dismantled, they may have created several different problems. And I haven't got to expand on this. I've talked about it before, but the animatronics don't work all the time. In fact, sometimes they break and they stop. Sometimes the entire attraction shuts down because the fire alarm goes off because they're probably pulling too much power. You see, they converted things that were driven by pneumatics, hydraulics, and some piezoelectric actuators that existed in the previous attraction, the previous animatronics. Instead, everything in this is now all electric. So it is a huge power demand. It requires clean power. And if you took everything apart very shoddily and you left some open grounds and some other things there, you're going to have very dirty power. So you're going to have faults everywhere. Also, there's a decent chance that they don't have enough power to run this entire thing, which is also going to cause problems because you're going to have faults where animatronics don't return back to home position, or what we call start position. Home position is don't tear yourself apart position. But start position is where the animatronic will return to start their performance, because a lot of these, instead of being looped animatronics, you have activated animatronics, which means when they are triggered, they reset to home and then they perform their little ditty. And the problem is if they don't return to home or they miss home, then they stop and nothing happens. And there are entire whole body segments that can shut down. In fact, one of the weirdest things is seeing the alligator guy just sitting there like a statue and just kind of having his mouth jitter. There's weird stuff that's happening in this attraction. Tiana will go into a Y pose or a T pose, like a video game character, which is that's the don't tear yourself apart thing. Or it could be that she has a start position that's close to that, for her performance for when you go floating by. They also may not have enough clean power or power in general to power the pumps to make the attraction go anymore. Because when you don't have enough power for something, you have to shut down something to get more power, and that would be a pump. So if you shut down a pump, you immediately slow everything down throughout the entire chain, and you cause log backups and all kinds of other stuff. This attraction no longer runs efficiently, and last time I checked, it still had about a 24 to 26% downtime throughout the entire day. So 1/4 of available opportunity, it's shut down.
That's hilarious. So a lot of the stuff you're just saying is in this article, and then it says, embarrassingly for Disney, the original Splash Mountain lives on in Tokyo Disneyland.
Yep.
The logic behind this is that the offensive origin of the underlying story has less relevance to the local audience in Japan.
That's inventing a story. They have been trying to force Tokyo to change to this bull stuff, and the Japanese aren't having it. They're not having it.
Tokyo Disney also happens to be the only Disney branded resort which isn't owned or operated by the media giant.
That's true.
Disney simply provides the license to specialist leisure operator Oriental Land Co., which runs the resort. That's funny. Presumably, if OLC believed that the update to Splash Mountain would benefit its business, it would have given it the green light, but it hasn't. So a lot of what you've just said, super. Thanks for that, Culture. Great to hear it all. And then we sort of come down here. It says, in recent weeks, there have been widespread reports about thin crowds at Disney World, with Walt Disney World Magic reporting that even on the morning of July 4th, most attractions had wait times of less than an hour, with none above 100 minutes. It was a stark contrast to previous years where queues for headline attractions were already 3 to 4 hours long by midday. That's a huge difference. And by midday, parks closed because they reached capacity. Another industry expert, that Park Place, so friends of the channel, added that its contributor, Lorraine Creole, was taken aback by the low crowds at the Magic Kingdom on July 3rd and 4th. The crowd levels are definitely much lower than they used to be for the 4th. So what is it? So essentially, Disney doesn't officially disclose the cost of individual attractions, so the amount it's spent on Tiana's Bayou adventure remains a closely guarded secret. It's left fans without an indication of how much it costs Disney to update a flagship ride like this until now. The evidence comes straight from the horse's mouth. As we recently revealed, the superhero-themed Avengers campus that opened in 2022 at Disneyland Paris cost precisely $404 million to build, according to David Gerardius, the land's design manager. Remarkably, the Imagineer revealed the sum in a post on LinkedIn, and mindful of the fact that he may delete his indiscretion once it was reported, they took a screenshot of his page. Lo and behold, once the piece was published, the Avengers Campus budget mysteriously disappeared from LinkedIn. That's hilarious. Gerardis wasn't just loose-lipped about the budget of the Avengers Campus, but many other attractions at Disneyland Paris, so we took screen grabs of them too. One was the update to Star Tours, Disney's classic Star Wars simulator. So that's hilarious as well. It says in September 2014, Imagineering show design production director Bjorn Herwagen, interesting name, revealed to us that the update was coming to Disneyland Paris too. So insanely high max cost. So the manpower required to develop and install the new decor and audio animatronics compensates for lack of CGI. Combined with 7 years of inflation, it should put the upgrade budgets for both attractions at approximately a similar level. And according to Gerardis, that came to $71 million, as can be seen here. And it would put the total spend on Tiana's Bayou adventure over the past 4 years at $142 million. $142 million for something which is fundamentally broken. Wow. So there you go. They updated something that they didn't need to update. They invest, and this is why it's funny when like Bob Iger's comes out and like, yeah, we're gonna combat Epic Universe. We're gonna spend $6 billion on it, and you're like, it's not that much, really, mate. It's across all your parks, and it's across a certain amount of time, and it's not that much, to be fair. There you go. There's not much else to say.
It's embarrassing how little they're spending and reinvesting in their parks. It is embarrassing for them, especially across 2 decades. I mean, Plan 1 was across 10 years. Now they're doing it over 2 decades when it comes to the Disney World Park, which is the crown jewel of the company. They are embarrassing. They are trash, and they are about to get unseated in Florida by Universal. So there's that.
You think that has anything to do with their dwindling visitation at these parks, Culture?
Terrible food. Everything's too costly. Everything's on your phone. It's impossible to escape reality or the real world. You're putting the real world into freaking attractions now. You have things that are inauthentic. You have cast members that are not dressed within the period because they have tattoos and strange hair and beards, and appearance standards have been abandoned in the theme parks. You have all kinds of other problems that come along with modernity. And you don't take all that good care of the staff that you have. You used to, but over the last 2 decades, it's been a falling rock. Disney absolutely 100% deserves this, and that's spoken like a fan. I used to be a Disney fan to the extreme, and would oftentimes find the uniqueness in different places that no longer is there anymore. The hotels they're putting up now are like Ramada Inns. Nothing is unique about them, even the design. I can go on and on. I don't think it's healthy, but I will tell you that this is probably the worst idea they ever had. And this is just a continuation of another worst idea they ever had when they redid the Jungle Cruise, because now it's back to falling apart. They could have done a proper fix of that attraction without tearing out the things that were culturally insensitive, and it would have been fine. But this is not the Walt's Disney. It is Iger's WEF compliant entertainment company.
Yeah.
Now, anyway, there's that.
BPAT's super chat says, maybe I'll do that, Mr. H. I think it's fantastic. Others, they're saying it's the best. I met someone right before this. I said, do you like this comedy? It's the best he's ever seen. MAGA. And then also says, Disney confirms blacks can't swim.
Yeah.
Oh, dear, oh dear. Go on then, Nick. What do you reckon about this whole debacle? $148 million they spent on this.
I mean,
unnecessary garbage.
There was no need for them to change anything. Just like there was no need for the Cleveland Indians or the Washington Redskins to change their names or change their, properties, their respective teams. This has just gotten so ridiculous in the world we live in today. Everybody's offended by everything. You got to coddle to everybody's feelings. It's people in the United States, a lot of huge majority of them. Well, I wouldn't say majority. A large portion of the people in the U.S. have just turned into a bunch of pussies, and that's pretty much what it is. And now this is the kind of crap we get. I mean, not to go back into the Trump stuff, but if you guys saw the DEI hires, Secret Service people that didn't know how to use properly holster their guns and stuff, and running around looking like a chicken with their head cut off. One of the guys who does a tactical training class that me and Mike went to, Mexican Iron Man, actually did a breakdown on this, and he's a ex-military door kicker, and so he kind of broke it down and just talked about just how ridiculous it is, and then it's ridiculous. They should have never changed this the Splash Mountain and spent this money. If they're going to spend it, just make the ride better. Leave it how it is. If people want to complain about it being insensitive or racist or whatever, let them complain. Nobody, it wasn't keeping anybody from coming to your park and riding the ride. So there was no point in this. It was a complete waste of money, and now it's just a huge disaster.
Well, it's an embarrassment for them, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Rather than an attraction, it's just it's something which people just are like, what the hell is this?
They don't see it that way though. They look at it as, this is virtuous on our part. Look at what we're doing because we care.
This is true. Tom, you got anything you want to add to this, mate? No worries if not. Just thought I'd ask.
Well, as Nick said, they are pussies. There's a lot of pussies in the world, and there's assholes and there's dicks. And dicks fuck the pussies.
Where's this going?
But assholes fuck everyone.
They do manifest.
No, it's from Team America. I'll shut up.
Okay.
Oh, God, that's right. I remember.
God,
okay,
Gary. There's
three
kinds of people in this world.
Accent Seller says the girls protecting Trump, Victoria's Secret Service. Yeah. Well, they weren't around. There were no women around him at the RNC. So
Yeah, they all
got the
magically
memo there, didn't
disappeared.
I screwed it up. It's asshole shit all over everything. But sometimes
Yeah.
you need a dick to fuck an asshole.
Demonetized. Thanks very much. Anyway,
Sorry.
oh well, there you go. There you go.